I'm Mandy Woodrick. We're here at the Redline conference this weekend. It is April 28th. We've been waiting for this date for a long time. We started last night. It was awesome. So I'm sitting here with Sarah Matteson, who is one of the workshop teachers for this afternoon. So Sarah, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be speaking on this afternoon and what's going on?
Yeah. Well, this afternoon I'm going to be doing one of the youth or student sessions, and I'm just looking forward to talking about how many times we in life have the wrong perspective, how we as Christians, and we just honestly in the everyday basis, sometimes we're just so close to a situation we can't see the bigger picture, and our problems look so harsh and so big at the time, but really when you back up and you go a week or you work 2 days or it might even be a month or a year later, you realize it wasn't that big of a deal. How many times do you wake up in the morning and your alarm didn't go off right, or whatever, and you wake up and it's just set the tone for your whole day. And how if we can just take a step back and recognize that God's got it all under control and that we can trust Him, what a difference it makes in our perspective. So
yeah, totally. And perspective is it's such a huge thing, and it's something that I've been learning myself lately. It's just people can look at a situation and view it in one way, but somebody else can look at it a completely different way, and it really makes all the difference in the world how you're looking at a situation. So what are some things, some steps that somebody can take when they're really struggling with something and they're having a lot of problems and they don't know what to do about a situation? What are some ways maybe that they could change their perspective on what's going on and see it from more, from God's perspective?
One of the first things that I'm going to be pointing out is that we need to remember that what Jesus promised us, that there are so many things that we as Christians can cling to. The fact that He heals, He restores, He gives us peace and joy and comfort and hope. And those promises many times are what can get us through. It's not that we as Christians don't have troubles in our life. It's not that we don't have struggles or that we don't have bad days. It's that we have a hope that what God has promised us will actually come to fruition, and to trust Him is obviously another big one. One of the other things is just to recognize that He can make all things good. And there's so many Christian songs even that are coming out right now that proclaim that God makes all things good and nothing is impossible with Him. And yet we as Christians, we almost have to say those over and over to remind ourselves that's right, He can make all things good and nothing is impossible with Him. And so those are just some of the points that I'm going to be making today. And obviously surrounding yourselves with Christians that can encourage you and help you along the way is a pretty big one, because sometimes you just can't see it anymore, and you need that friend or that mentor or that person who's discipling you to kind of say, hey, look, and hopefully help you zoom out just a little bit from your situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that there's different times when it might be a good idea for well, you're saying surround yourselves obviously with Christians that are able to, contribute to the situation and kind of help you and guide you along the way. But do you think that sometimes people maybe get wrapped up, like young people especially, get caught up in the wrong crowd and with people who have a negative perspective on different situations, and that may be contributing to some of the problem?
Absolutely, and I think some of it too, even is just our own social networking that we have, whether it's the texting or the Facebook. One of the things that we will be talking about is just the idea of the Facebook mood swings that so many people have. Yeah. 1 minute they're like, oh, it's so awesome, God is so good, and then the next post that they have is they're gonna die and it's the end of the world. And that's hard. Even as a Christian, you read that and you're like, so that just discourages you. And so we have to, again, have some perspective about this, that we can trust in Him and not even in ourselves, because we are pretty, roller coaster kind of beings, and the slightest thing can tip us off. So absolutely.
All right. Well, it sounds like your workshop's going to be awesome this afternoon, so I look forward to it. If you want to find out more information about Redline, you can go to iredline.tv. If you are able to come to this conference, be sure to come next year. It's going to be awesome. We did it last year. This is the second time. I'm really excited that we brought it back, because it was really great before, and already we're just kicking off on day 2. It's already been great. So iredline.tv, and you can also follow us on Twitter at iredlinetv with the hashtag Redcon.